No one expected the storm to begin with a single unmarked envelope. It arrived on a quiet morning, slipping through the Royal Dominion's postal system like any forgettable document. But the moment Princess Ilara held it in her hands, something tightened in her chest. The wax seal was foreign, the handwriting hauntingly familiar. When she tore it open, her world tilted. What lay inside wasn't information. It was a spark, waiting to ignite a dynasty. Inside the envelope sat a single sheet from a private laboratory. At the top, a clinical header. Beneath it, 2 names. One belonged to Queen Seraphine, her late sister-in-law. The other was a stranger. The conclusion was sharp and merciless. A genetic link. A secret child the crown had never acknowledged. Ilara read the sentence again and again, hoping the words would change. But the truth sat heavy and cold. She felt the ground shift beneath her. The Dominion's entire line of succession depended on unbroken bloodlines, and this document cracked the foundation. Questions flooded her mind. Who sent it? Why now? And what did Seraphine try to hide in the final years of her life? Ilara remembered Seraphine's cryptic comments, the whispered confessions during family gatherings, the way her eyes carried storms no one else noticed. At the time, Ilara brushed them aside as melancholy. Now they felt like warnings. Seraphine had left breadcrumbs, in diaries, in letters, and half-spoken fears. Ilara realized those clues weren't poetic ramblings. They were a map. And Ilara had just been pushed to follow it. She locked the DNA report away and summoned her most trusted aide. The initials on the page meant nothing to her, but someone out there knew their meaning. Days of quiet digging revealed something far darker than she had expected. Missing documents, altered medical files, and the trail of disappearances tied to Seraphine's secret travels in the late 980s. Buried deep in a European clinic's dusty ledgers, a single notation exposed the truth. A child born in secrecy, recorded by a palace doctor who resigned abruptly soon after. Ilara's breath stilled. This wasn't a rumor. This wasn't a myth. This child existed, and someone had spent decades erasing him. When she confronted her brother, King Aldrich, she expected shock. Instead, she saw recognition. The truth had lived behind his eyes for years. He confessed everything. After Seraphine's death, the crown formed a pact to bury the existence of an heir born outside the Dominion's tradition. They feared the kingdom's stability would fracture. Files were sealed, records scrubbed, a child erased for the good of the realm. To Aldrich, it had been duty. To Ilara, it was betrayal. But Aldrich wasn't the only one who knew it. Lady Marwyn, the quiet strategist, who had weathered every court storm with an unserving smile, revealed that she had known as well. She hadn't buried the secret out of loyalty. She had used it, stored it, leveraged it. A blade she never needed to unsheath because everyone feared she could. Her final words chilled Ilara. He's closer than you think. And she was right. When Ilara's private investigators traced the last missing fragments of Seraphine's life, a face finally emerged. A grown man living under a false identity, carrying Seraphine's eyes and the same quiet fire that once made a nation adore her. He wasn't a rumor. He was real. And he had known the truth for years. Their secret meeting shattered Ilara. Looking into his eyes felt like standing before Seraphine again. He told her of a life lived in the shadows, of letters Seraphine had sent through hidden channels, of the ache of watching his brothers from afar in newspapers and broadcasts. He didn't want a crown. He wanted truth. Ilara, the Dominion's unshakable pillar, broke into tears. For the first time in her life, she chose truth over duty. And truth demands light. In a move that stunned the world, she held a